Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a great Super Bowl long weekend. We are going to do something a little bit fun today, and we are actually going to look at the Super Bowl halftime show. And we're going to have a little bit of a deconstruction here, going through it, what we like, what we don't like, and we're just going to have a little bit of fun with it, I think.
Have you had a chance to see it yet?
I have not seen this. I'm going into this completely cold, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I've seen it once, and I think there's a lot to learn about how to properly shoot a show for the hybrid and virtual and things like that. So yeah, let's get started.
Cool, I'm excited.
National Football League welcomes you to the Pepsi Super Bowl 50.
First of all, that logo, I don't like it.
No, you don't like the Pepsi logo?
No, the Super Bowl logo.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here we go.
So we got the weekend.
In the car, you see the branding and things.
Yeah. I mean, it's a sweet backdrop. I will say that right off the bat. That is a fantastic set.
Yeah, how about we quickly talk about that just to start? I think like the opening sequence is really cool with the camera work and everything kind of moving out of the way.
Yeah, it's definitely got like that cinematography kind of going on there. You got you're zooming in. It's got this whole cityscape. It looks fantastic. You feel like you're right in Vegas or Miami or something like that. So
Yeah. I'm not sure how it would look live, just because you're kind of when you're live, you're fixed in your position.
Yeah.
But obviously, they can play this on the jumbotron or something like that, so you can still get that same feeling from it.
yeah. All right, let's keep going. Well, getting a little religious here.
So it zooms out to show you like the full scope of the stage and everything, right? Which I think is okay. It's hard to see.
I'd be curious to look at the numbers and see how many people are actually in the stadium for this Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's less than it would be on a normal year, but
And then like you can see the stage opening up here, right? And him
Yeah.
walk out. But in my opinion, like the camera's like it's jumping around so much. Like that would have been way cooler if the camera just started there and watched the whole thing open up, you know? And like this whole thing here, so I'm just gonna pause it quick. You see how it like backs out and you see all the fireworks going and
Yeah.
everything. It feels like they're trying to show you what you're missing rather than filming for the purpose of the virtual viewer.
yeah, they're still trying to promote this as the live event, like what it was like if you're actually watching
Yeah.
it from the stands there. Which I mean, if the whole purpose of doing it hybrid, even though I mean this was live, there were people there. But if you are thinking about this from a hybrid perspective, that you can do those fun cinematographic things and not have to worry about what the people in the audience are actually seeing.
Exactly.
Right?
So I think the key thing to keep in mind as we go through the rest of the video will be the fact that when you do hybrid events, the virtual aspect and the live aspect, they're allowed to be different. Right? You're allowed to try to create the best possible experience for that viewership.
Yeah.
And you don't have to show them both everything. That's my opinion anyways, but let's see how it does. I do like the red and blue contrast of the two colors, but it's almost difficult to see him.
Yeah, he doesn't quite pop. It's a very dark set right now.
Yeah. Again, I think if you were live, it would help point him out from the crowd just because the red stands out so much against the blue.
Yeah.
But when the camera's up against him anyways, I don't think it's necessarily the best. But he is a good singer.
You a fan of The Weeknd?
A little bit, yeah. I dabble in his music, I would say.
There you go. I mean, a fellow Canadian artist, you gotta respect
Gotta
that a bit,
support.
right?
Yeah. So again, like the camera is kind of like bouncing around so much.
Do you know what this reminds me a lot of? And I mean, obviously it is kind of a similar thing, but every single time I watch the Olympic opening ceremony, when they're doing these quick cuts from, you know, the action, you're zooming in and then they're showing like the big fireworks behind it in like
Yeah.
quick succession. And I don't know who does the editing for those, but you can do it a lot smoother and you can focus on one aspect at a time.
Yeah, you kind of like they're trying to show you everything that you lose track of what's important, right? Like here, you see him, but you miss the whole back dance routine.
Yeah.
And there, they show you the fireworks, but does that really add to our experience? I don't know. Like, I think that's a pretty cool shot where it pans out across the dancers. But
Yeah. Yeah, kind of as opposed to these kind of quick cuts, I would like to see a little bit more of the slow kind of pans and a little bit more of a smoother transition here. I mean, I get what they're kind of going for, and it is hard because there is a live audience, so they are still having to pander
yeah.
to the people that are in the stands. But then they do something like this here, where like no one in the audience is actually watching this anyways.
Yeah, right? This is, in my opinion, the best part of the whole halftime show from the virtual aspect, right? It's like closely filming him, you get the full experience, and you can tell that this was meant to be like this, right?
Yeah.
And the live audience isn't seeing this anyway, so this is probably like on the Jumbotron or something for them.
Yeah.
So that's another like integration of the hybrid and virtual, right?
Well, this is almost shot like a music video, right?
Yeah.
You got that POV, you're like right in his face there.
Yeah.
You're in this experience there in a way that you wouldn't be for anything else.
Yeah, especially like this part, right? Like this is all music video, planned, intentional filming. I just wish they kind of brought this camera work to the opening sequence,
Yeah.
you know? Like this is the shot that we want to show rather than trying to show us everything.
Now, what is going on with these masks? I am.
Looks kind of like a jockstrap.
I'm glad you said it because I was definitely thinking that. Yeah, is this supposed to be like a COVID mask or something? Because it looks like they just found the jock straps out back and they gave them to these poor backup dancers right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, like when they push the camera there, I think that's cool. But like, we come here and he's all of a sudden at the top of the stage, right? Personally, I would have much rather seen the camera follow him all the way out, maybe get his experience walking out into this big open stadium, right? With fans there. Like there are things that you can do with the camera virtual that you can't do live, and there are things that you can do live that you can't do virtual.
Yeah.
And I think it's more important to take advantage of those things rather than trying to force that experience upon the other viewer. You know?
See, this is a great shot.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. That's good, crisp, clear. You can see him against this fantastic background. And this doesn't matter if this was for a live audience or for a purely virtual audience.
Yeah.
I think you would get the same kind of experience.
Yeah, and I also kind of like this one, you know, where you see the fireworks in the back and you kind of get the whole scope of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not forcing that upon you, you know, it's just an addition to him. Like there's a cool background.
These are as opposed to the beginning, those were a lot smoother transitions too. Like he when he turned, the camera turned. It wasn't these quick cuts that we were seeing for the huge to the small to the huge to the small.
Yeah.
So
Whereas opposed to like this one, it's like I can't even tell where he is.
this feels like a Broadway musical at this point here.
Right? And it's like, does this camera work add anything to our experience? See, that's better, right? And you can tell that the Jumbotron is focusing on him, right? So the question is, why are we getting that Jumbotron feed instead of this, right? Like that whole stage the point is it's supposed to look like a massive stage to us, right? I think that's what they're going for, but it gets lost in translation. Like if you're watching this on like a 15-inch laptop screen or something like that, right? You don't get the same impact.
Or even worse, I mean, who's watching on a laptop? You're watching it sideways on your phone, right? So
exactly.
Even more so then.
So I feel like there's a little disconnect about who the target virtual audience is, especially when the majority of the stadium's empty right now, right? Whereas something like this, I like because it kind of focuses in
Yeah, you can
what's
actually
happening.
see what's going on. It creates that ambiance that you really
Yeah.
want in this circumstance.
Yeah, you kind of get a little bit more personal with the background dancers and kind of feel like you're more involved.
Yeah.
Like this is a cool shot, right?
This is very Broadway.
Yeah.
Everything about this says Broadway to me, which is kind of cool. I dig it. It's got some flair to it.
Yeah, and yeah, obviously, if you're watching this live, it's going to be much more different in person, right? Like those flashing lights will be way more impactful. But like this virtual scene, yeah, I don't know. Like at this point, I don't know if I'd call this a success or a failure. So
I mean, if you're having to think about it.
yeah, fair enough.
Now, is he doing an homage to Michael Jackson here? Is that what the whole kind of shtick with his outfit is? Because it looks like from Thriller. Or is that just me?
I can see that. I'm not sure.
I'll have to do some research on that before I sound like an idiot on the live tape.
Cut that out. The shoes too.
Yeah, that's what it was. The shoes that threw me. I mean, that's what drew me to it. I mean, he's wearing both gloves, so
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, not exactly the same, but
Like, see, that's a good shot right there, right? Tight frame on him.
you
know
got
what you're
you
supposed
got
to be
you got the
looking
little
at.
wink and everything
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
But then this shot where it's like back and he's in the corner of the screen, you don't know what you're supposed to be focusing on, and like that
Yeah, that
does nothing to me.
No.
Right? You would think for a show like this that they would be able to plan out every shot, right?
Well, here we go. We got the those masks back again.
See, that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, I like this. I like this kind of fade out through. This is an immersive
And
experience.
like how the lights, right? That was really cool. But just wait for it. Like I like how the light glows on the camera work, and but I feel like they start to miss some opportunities like this, right? Like when he appears, like the camera should be there ready, right?
Yeah, like you can't even see him on here
Yeah.
until like now. I didn't
Yeah.
even notice him coming out until this instant. So
That's what I mean, right? That like they should know that, and then this, it's
now this, I'd be curious to see what it would look like from the audience, because there's no way they're going to even be able to keep track of really where he is there.
yeah. And maybe that's what they're going for, you know? And maybe that's why the camera work is kind of all over the place. But I feel like if this is all choreographed for purpose, the camera work should like supplement that, you know?
Yeah. Now, apparently he sunk a whole bunch of his own money into this performance too, eh?
Really?
Yeah, I think I don't know what the exact figures were, something around $7 million. Like he wanted to make this was like his dream, like forever,
Yeah.
apparently, to sing at that Super Bowl halftime show. And he wanted it in a very specific way that was, I think, beyond their budgets. He was like, I'm gonna put
Pay
my
the
own,
difference,
I'm gonna
yeah.
put my money where my mouth is here and enhance this performance. So I think he got a little bit more input into this performance, and he got to have a little bit more fun with it, I think.
Yeah. Well, I like that in a creator, you know, like trying to make their vision come alive. And I think this whole scene is really cool. I just think like the camera work doesn't add to it. Right? Whether it be like more close-up shots of him or more overhead shots.
Yeah, it is also very dark. It feels like there's
Yeah.
just kind of a lot going on that. Again, maybe this was more made for the audience there,
Yeah.
but they could have upped the lights a little bit or done something a little bit more to actually so they could see it. I don't know. It feels like this part
Like-
is just kind of lacking.
And like this sweeping camera, like I would rather have a steady cam, you know, maybe like an overhead shot or something, to kind of get that what's going on. But
I feel like I'm playing Rocket League right now.
I'm almost getting a little bit of motion sickness. Like it's kind of, you kind of get more of a scope with that kind of scene, but like that's a cool shot, right?
Yeah, that's great. This is very much like a
Yeah.
music video. I feel like I'm in the experience right
Like
now.
that's really cool. And that's what I mean, where like the virtual experience doesn't have to be the live experience, right? Like it kind of gives you that benefit of going live because you get that experience that the virtual audience won't get.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the virtual audience should be getting the best possible experience for them, you know? Yeah, so.
Cool. Well, that was fun. I think there's a lot of good and bad to kind of learn there, and I think this was the first Super Bowl that was directed. Well, maybe not, because the Super Bowl is kind of weird. Obviously, more people watch Super Bowl on
Yeah.
TV than they watch it live.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
So, but I think they wanted to put extra emphasis on the people watching it from home this time around, just because everyone is, you know, watching it typically from their house. They're not going out to there's not going to be as many people going to the bars or to the parties and stuff like that. I mean, I know this is in Florida, so it's a little bit different, but on the most part, most people are going to be watching this with, you know, their immediate family or whoever they're living with at the time at home. So.
And yeah, I think that's where they kind of missed the mark, you know? I think it was an awesome halftime show for the people live. I think like it probably would be up there as one of the better halftime shows live. But the virtual experience just, although it was targeted to the virtual audience, I think it just didn't do a good job catering
Yeah.
to that experience.
Yeah, I think some parts, the part where he was going on the inside of that stage and he had that little light sequence,
Yeah.
with that really and those tight up shots, those were fantastic. What kind of lost me there was at the beginning and at the end, those quick cuts where you see the huge thing and then zooming in, and zooming out, and zooming in. Yeah, those look really good.
Yeah, I agree. It's those tight frames, like right up to the weekend, you know, good lighting. That's what made the shots work, you know? But when the lighting's not as good as it should be, when you're moving or jumping around, you don't know where to focus, it kind of gets lost. The experience gets lost. And I think the key takeaway here is that when you're doing a hybrid event, whether it be something like this or a conference or whatever, you have to keep in mind that the virtual experience and the live experience, they don't have to be the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to try to portray the whole live experience to a virtual audience. You can take what they're seeing and give them the best possible experience in that format.
Yeah. Well, I think that's everything we have for this particular topic today here.
Yeah.
If you guys kind of like these live views where we
these
kind of
reaction
where we're
videos.
breaking stuff apart kind of in the moment here, feel free to give us some suggestions in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe, of course. We'll have a few different types of content videos coming out in the near future, so be sure to check those out as well. But until then, have a great day. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.